Yeah, so actually we moved to North Carolina, so I'm closer to now. Got the whole family out here. It's no more traveling. I mean, there's still a little bit of a drive, but nowhere near what it was before. And I get to be home every night. I get to, have dinner with the kids, play with them, whatever, hang out with the family before practice. When I get home, we have dinner and hang out after, get the farm chores done and hang out. So,
The AllStar app, the #1 app in the business. UFC, Bellator, One Championship, PFL, and more. Get the app right now. Link in description. Bryan, man, you've been reaching out, you've been tweeting, you've been Instagramming like the last couple of months, like just trying to get any fight, right? And some of them, man, were really, really good matchups. I thought they were
yeah.
gonna line them up. You had some interactions with I think Jake Matthews and Li Jingliang. Nico Price was another name that was out there. Um, did any of those fights ever come close to being put together?
You know, uh, as far as from the matchmakers and talking with them, no. Matthews, I knew needed more time. Um, there's a couple guys who had some fights in the works or whatever, I guess. So it didn't work out. The biggest one was Nico Price, man. We were trying to make that happen. We were going back and forth. He was pushing for it. I was pushing for it. We were both talking to the matchmakers, trying to make it happen. His management team. I really thought that one was going to come together. And who knows? Maybe after this, I owe him a fight. I owe him a fight. That's for sure. He's a guy I want to throw down with. He wants to throw down with me. I know he's trying hard to get the fight. So, I owe him the fight. I got this opportunity to jump on this short notice, and
For sure, man, for sure. Yeah, it's I guess later this year, right? Later this year, we'll see that
yeah.
one. No matter what happens. Let's talk about 2022, man. The year in review for you. You picked up victories against Matt Brown and Robbie Lawler. When you look back at those experiences, man, like what stood out most for you?
Uh, I just really enjoyed it. Those are guys that I look up to. I followed for a long time. I love the way they fight. They fight how I want to fight. They go in there and they give it their all. They stand toe to toe, take one to give one, kind of thing. Give the fans a show, and at their heart, that's what they want the most. Is just, to sit there and exchange with a person. So, it was huge and a great opportunity and a real special moment for me. Fighting those two guys are legends, and I'm on my way. I'm on my legend tour still. So getting up and going, man.
For sure, for sure. And the other fight you had, the last fight against RDA, not the result you wanted, but that's the game, man. The game is to go out there and challenge yourself, and you challenge yourself every time out. Take us through that fight and how it felt facing the type of level of fighter like RDA.
Yeah, honestly, it was no different than any of the other fights. For me, it was no different going into it. Obviously, we knew he was going to try to wrestle. He was going to exchange a little bit, or at least we thought he was. And really, it didn't go how I wanted it to. Obviously, the fight was played out a lot differently than I thought it would. I thought he would grapple. I thought he would wrestle, but I didn't think it would be so like grapple heavy, less exchanges and things like that. And I was expecting. He said in interviews and came out and said, he was looking for a fun fight, an exciting fight. So I thought we were going to go on there and exchange, and it's shame on me. Shame on me for you know almost blinding myself somewhat per se, thinking it was going to be similar to a Matt Brown, Robbie Lawler kind of experience, where we go in there and exchange hands, and there'll be some wrestling exchanges, but not real heavy wrestling exchanges, and so got away from myself, and realizing, I'm not mad at him for it. Was I irritated in the moment? A little bit, but I'm not mad at him for him. It's MMA. He did exactly what he needed to do. He had a great game plan, and he did what he needed to do. And I'm not mad at him for it. He's a legend, and I respect him. Still a fan. Just wanted more, So, but it made me better. It made me better because it woke me up. it woke me up and really put me back into the game of, this isn't just a striking battle. This is MMA. We got to mix it up. Um, and it really set me in line, especially for this next matchup.
Yeah, this game, man. One shot changes everything too. You know what I mean? Like, let's say
Yeah.
you clip them a little bit in the early, first round. You know what I mean? Then in a fight, like one shot could like throw everything off, and you don't even remember the rest of the fight. You hear
Yeah.
that sometimes. Have you had that
Yeah.
in a fight before, where you like got caught early and then you just kind of went on autopilot?
Uh, I haven't in a fight, but I've had it in practice before. Yeah. Didn't remember whole sparring round and everything. Ended up going really well. I guess I did really good. The coaches were like, "We need to do that more often," kind of thing. But yeah, I've had it in practice before a long time ago.
Yeah, I've heard, yeah, guys that even in a fight they get clipped early and then they don't remember the rest of the fight, but they won the fight and they
Yeah.
performed really well. But they have to watch the fight. They don't know what happened.
Yeah.
What about your health? You know, what I mean, your body. Coming out of that fight, were you pretty injury free?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't really get punched. Like I said, heavy grappling exchanges and stuff like that. But body felt good. I felt healthy. I did take a little bit of time, off, just spending with the family a little bit. But I was actively looking for something to step in short notice. There was a lot of short notice fights that happened, and was willing to step in. Was really pushing to step in. You know, I don't, I don't think the UFC was happy with my performance. I definitely was not happy with my performance, and I'm eager to get back in there. Was eager to get back in there and show, show how good I am and how much better I've gotten even in such a short amount of time. So a lot of opportunities, a lot of them didn't work out, but the UFC knows that I'm the guy. If they need somebody, if they really need somebody to step in short notice, I'm the guy. And it's not for them, it's for me. Whatever. I'm down to do it, and they know I'm down to do it. I'm gonna go in there and put on a show and give my best, give my all every time. So, um, I'm happy to do it.
Well, being ready and being that guy, you get rewarded, right? The matchmakers always see that you're ready to go, and they let you, hop on this pay-per-view card against Gunnar Nelson. How did that all come together? Did you put your hand up, or were you just like sitting at home and then they just called you and said, "Hey," because there was no like word of Daniel Rodriguez being injured or anything.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I've been on them. I've been on them. Question, trying to get fights, trying to get this fight with Nico.
Yeah,
Pushing, 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 and not getting any results. So they contacted me and said,
mhm,
"Hey, there's you know short notice if you want it," and I was like,
of
"Let's
course.
go." Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that's all I've been waiting for. Come on,
Yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's like you don't even have to ask, man. Just shoot
Yeah,
the contract,
you
right?
know what I'm gonna
Uh,
say.
yeah. What do you think of Gunner in the matchup?
I'm obviously a fan. He's a really good grappler and everything, but I truly believe I'm the better wrestler, and people may not see that in any of my fights, or especially my last one or whatever. Yeah, he has good BJJ, and he's a heavy grappler or whatever. Well, I believe I'm the better wrestler, and I think I'm going to stuff his stuff. Everything he's got to bring to the table, I'm looking to shut it down with my wrestling, and then make him pay on the feet. So if it does get in grappling exchanges, which whatever it may. This is MMA. Anything could happen. I'm ready to defend. I'm ready to get out of there, create scrambles, and get back to the feet and put the fight where I want it. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of his. I've watched for a long time, and he poses some challenges, but I'm ready for those.
Yeah, he has that karate style.
Yeah,
Like it's unique. I mean, there's not many guys out there with that style. It's
yeah,
going to be a fun challenge, right? Even on the feet, we know that he can grapple, but on the feet, it's like a unique clash of styles. Do you see that?
yeah, yeah. It's definitely different. He's bouncing around a lot. He's move a lot of movement, circling the cage and things like that. So definitely poses his own challenges. Um, it's something we've been working, obviously, in camp. Uh, but it's like I said, it's funny because after this last fight, we've been going over a lot of things we've been doing uh, fit in perfectly with this matchup.
Okay. Hey, everything's about timing, right? Everything is about
Yeah,
timing. So, he he has faced, some stiff competition just like yourself throughout the years, but he just
Nope.
hasn't been fighting that often. How important is it to stay active and build momentum for a fighter?
Yeah, you're right. He hasn't been as active. I think he came off an injury and then was kind of, out for a while with that too. But yeah, even before that, I don't think he was terribly active. But for me, it's been amazing. Staying active, and that's kind of hard in this business as well too. And definitely with the matchmakers and things like that. It's constantly being on them and things like that. And you know, I manage myself, so I'm constantly on them myself. I'm telling them from me to them and them to me, like, I'm ready to go. Let's make this happen. Blah, blah, blah. Come on, come on, come on. So staying active for me, especially coming off injuries, I've had a lot of downtime where I've had one fight a year or, one and then maybe two due to injuries. So I've been out. So staying active for me has been huge. Not only keeping me fresh and in shape, because I tend to blow up quite often and like to eat, but uh, but yeah, yeah, yeah. That's probably the toughest part. But I definitely feel like I'm improving more and staying sharper and getting better and better. And honestly, I feel like going into that last fight, even though the way it did, like I felt like I knew I'm one of the most dangerous people to step in that octagon, and it didn't turn out my way just because obviously things got mixed up and a little blind and wasn't able to perform how I wanted to. But again, I feel jumping right off that, staying active in training in the gym, looking for fights. Um, Man, I'm dangerous.
Yeah, 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 for sure, man. You've been through a lot, man, in the past couple of years, and you've somehow like you're like Wolverine. Like you just heal up and you just return and do what you need to do to get back out there. His last fight against Takashi Sato, right? He got the decision win,
Yeah.
and man, it was 2.5 years that he didn't fight. Did you see any kind of ring rust? Did you get a chance to watch that fight?
I did, but not really. I mean, he kind of just implemented his game plan. I think he was probably a little bit, first one being back after time off and everything. Maybe a little bit gun shy, but I mean, overall, he seemed, to be able to keep the fight where he wanted to and do the things he wanted to. So I'm not a big believer in ring rust myself, coming back from big layoffs and things like that. I think if you're in there, if you're ready to go perform and you got to prepare for it, you know, I don't know. I think mentally wise too, you got to be there mentally for it to not to affect you.
Training camp it's at Jimmo again.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. And were you going out there? Like you said, you're looking to jump in short notice. So were you just going out there even though there was no fight?
Yeah. So actually, we moved to North Carolina, so I'm closer to the now. Got the whole family out here. It's no more traveling. I mean, there's still a little bit of a drive, but nowhere near what it was before. And I get to be home every night. I get to have dinner with the kids, play with them, whatever, hang out with the family before practice. When I get home, we have dinner and hang out after, get the farm chores done and hang out. So uh, I mean, it's huge. That's my life, man. That's my life. That's the most important thing to me. And I enjoy fighting and I love what I do, and it gives us the life we're able to have. So, when it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work. So, I've been staying active in there. Going a few times a week, and then we get like a hint of a possible maybe. There's a short notice attempt or something's in the works. Like I'm there every day, busting my butt, like starting dieting and everything, and weight down, and then it doesn't, and then it falls out, and then it's like, okay, okay, we can pull, we'll pull back a little bit. Like I don't want to overwork myself until something really does pop up. So the opportunity popped up, man, and we just jumped right into it. But like I said, we were working, sharpening, and everything we went coming off that last fight, man, it's just plays perfectly right into this one.
It seems like there's guys popping in to Jimmo, from time to time. You got your crew, but you got guys popping in. Who's been popping in? You know what I mean? Like, could you give us any idea?
Well, I mean, Weidman Trey's there on the usual. Joe Selecki, he's just coming off a big win. Congrats to him. Real dominant win there, and I expect big things from him. Being able to move up the ladder pretty quick and getting in the rankings, fighting a ranked guy pretty soon. He's 5-1 in the UFC, so big things coming for him. Excited for him. You know, John Salter, he fights in Bellator. He's popping in. He's got a fight coming up. Jamie Pickett's been coming in, getting work with us. So, but honestly, I can't take any, well, I wouldn't anyways take credit for any of their training or anything. But honestly, I haven't been training with any of those guys. I haven't been training with that group. I locked down my camps. I have a select guy. I've been working with a really good up and coming guy. He's hoping to make his pro debut, later this year. Paul Carson, stud. He's a stud, man. I'm telling you, just keep his name on paper, man. Keep track of him because he's going to be something. So watch him, and we've been preparing, going back and forth, really pushing each other this camp, and I'm looking to go out there and put on a solid performance.
There you go, man. I love it. And is this your first trip abroad for the UFC?
I fought in the Netherlands before. I fought
Okay, okay.
uh, Brazil. Yeah.
Okay. You've been around then. Are you gonna take the whole family out there? It's kind of like maybe a work family type of thing.
Yeah, we really thought about it.
Hmm.
But with the farm, it's tough, and the only people who
Yeah.
know how to run the farm are the kids. So, Grandpa's coming to stay with the kids, and they're gonna handle business while we're
Mm,
gone. So, really appreciate them,
yeah.
and it's amazing to see just the little humans that they're turning into, and to be able to rely on them to take care of so many lives. At just such
Mm.
a young age, and they know how to do it, and they know how to, everything that needs to be done. So, it's really impressive.
Yeah, man. You've created a great environment, and it's crazy how you had a farm in Tennessee, right? And now you just have another farm in
Yeah,
North
rebuild,
Carolina. Yeah.
rebuilding the whole thing, yeah, from
Yeah.
scratch. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Hey. It, it's all good, man. What type of clash are you expecting in London against Nelson?
Honestly, I'm expecting a grappling match. That's what he
Hmm.
wants. I think that's what he wants. If it stands on feet, if he wants to keep it on the feet, I think that's a big mistake for him. And his best bet is to take me to the ground and work his jiu-jitsu. Like I said, I believe I'm the better wrestler. I'm going to shut down his attempts, and we're going to look to keep it on the feet and make him pay for it. So if it does happen to go to the ground, I'm ready for that, ready to work, and been putting a lot of time in. So I just think, yeah, he wants a grappling match. I'm going to come make it a fight.
The main event. What do you think, man? Usman or Edwards?
Uh Man, I think it'll be a different fight than the first one, but I think Usman will take it.
All right, all right. March 18th, man. London, UFC 286 pay per view. Go in the descriptions. Download the AllStar app. Brian, it's always good catching up with you, man. And good luck on the new farm, man. It's always exciting times for you.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, man. Look forward to getting this thing, put back together and
Mhm.
enjoying my hard work.